Sometimes the scariest stories start in the most ordinary way possible. No screaming, no obvious horror, just one strange message. That's exactly what this story felt like when I found it on Reddit. At first, it sounds like a stupid prank, but the more you read, the more you realize it was something much worse. The story was called "Someone Keeps Texting Me." The first message came 3 days ago. I was at work, normal day, nothing special. During my break, my phone vibrated. New message. At first, I barely paid attention. I get spam texts sometimes, ads, random numbers. But this message felt strange because there was no number. Usually there's something, a contact, a number, anything. Here, nothing, just a message. One short message, hide and seek. I figured someone texted the wrong person. Maybe they meant to message a friend, so I replied, "I think you have the wrong number." After work, I had almost forgotten about it. Grabbed my stuff, walked out, got into my car. Before starting the engine, I checked my phone. Another message, no number, same sender, hide and seek. At that point, it started getting annoying. I typed, "I already told you, wrong number. Who is this?" The reply came instantly, "You." Just one word. I froze, staring at the screen. You. That weird feeling hit me. That feeling where nothing has technically happened, but something inside you suddenly feels wrong. I blocked the chat and drove home. On the way, my roommate Mike texted me, asked if I could bring food. As usual, I stopped at a gas station, grabbed some food, and got back in my car. That's when my phone vibrated again. New message. Still no number. The screen read, "Seek drink." A cold chill ran down my spine, because now this didn't feel random anymore. Someone clearly knew what I was doing. I called Mike immediately, asked him directly, "Is this you?" He sounded tired, high, like usual. Said he had no idea what I was talking about. When I got home, Mike met me at the door. Well, he took the food and walked straight to the kitchen. As usual, I wanted to ask again, but I was exhausted. I just wanted sleep. When I got to my room, my phone vibrated again. Almost time. Then another line. Hide or seek. That's when I genuinely felt uneasy. I typed, "Stop, leave me alone." Then I shut my phone off completely. I don't know how long I slept. 30 minutes? An hour? A knock on my door woke me up. I sat up instantly. Mike was outside. He looked different. Uneasy. Actually scared. He said, "Dude, I got a message. I think it's what you were talking about." I opened the door. He showed me his phone. Short message. Last chance. Hide or seek. My stomach tightened. I turned my phone back on. There was already a new message waiting. "Okay, you hide." I didn't know what to do. Call the police? And say what? That invisible numbers were texting me? It sounded insane. Then something worse happened. The power went out completely. At first, I thought the electricity died. Then, we heard something. Slow. Heavy. The sound of the front door opening. Creaking. I knew I locked it. I was sure. Everything inside me froze. I turned to Mike and whispered the only thing I could think of. Hide. I dropped to the floor and crawled under my bed. I tried calling 911, but my phone shut off, just died, even though it had over 50% battery. And then I heard footsteps. Slow, heavy, but the worst part wasn't that. The footsteps sounded wrong, not human, too steady, too slow, like something was trying to perfectly imitate human walking without fully understanding how people actually move. Sometimes the footsteps stopped for a second, then started again. Closer. The temperature in the room dropped. It became freezing cold. Maybe it was just fear. Maybe my mind was messing with me. I don't know. Then came the smell. Rot. Something rotten. Something dead. I pressed myself deeper under the bed and stopped breathing. Then I heard the closet door close. Mike had hidden inside, and that's when it hit me. If I heard that sound, then it heard it too. The footsteps stopped, right inside my room. I couldn't see much, just part of the floor, the bottom of the closet, part of the wall, and feet. At first, I thought it was Mike, then I realized, no, this was something else. The feet were bare, pale, way too pale, and the feet were facing backwards. My phone suddenly vibrated in my hand. New message. I forced myself to look. Found Mike. My stomach dropped. Then, crash. Something hit the closet door with unbelievable force, and right after that, I heard Mike scream. I have never heard anything like that in my life. Pure terror, panic, animal fear. And then, silence. Complete, dead silence. I don't know how much time passed. Seconds, maybe minutes. I stayed there, completely still, not moving, barely breathing. Then, I heard Mike's voice, quiet, almost whispering. "Dude, it's okay. Pause. It's gone." Every part of me froze, because the voice wasn't coming from the closet. It sounded like it was coming from right next to my bed. I felt every muscle in my body lock up. I wanted to move. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. Then silence again. Complete silence. I don't know how long I stayed under that bed. Maybe 20 minutes, maybe an hour. When the lights finally came back on, I forced myself to move. Slowly, I crawled out. The closet door was destroyed, completely shattered, but nobody was inside. Mike was gone, completely. I searched the entire apartment, the hallway, kitchen, bathroom, living room, nothing. No blood, no signs of a struggle, nothing. Just gone. Like Mike had never been there at all. I called the police, tried explaining everything. Even while talking, I knew how insane I sounded, but I knew what I heard. I knew what I saw. Something came into that apartment, and it took Mike. It's been a month. The police found nothing. Absolutely nothing. No signs of forced entry. No fingerprints. No evidence that anyone else was ever in the apartment. Mike is officially listed as missing, and nobody believes me. Nobody. The police think I had some kind of breakdown. Some people think grief made me imagine everything. Sometimes I almost believe them. Almost. The problem is, it didn't stop. The messages never stopped. They still come. Every day. Every night. It doesn't matter how many times I change my number. It doesn't matter how many times I block it. It always finds me. Always. Sometimes the messages are simple. Hide. Sometimes worse. I see you. Sometimes. Where's Mike? I stopped sleeping properly. Every little sound makes my heart race. And every night, around the same time, I hear knocking. 3 slow knocks. Always the same. Then silence. Every single night. One night, I made the mistake of looking through the peephole, and I instantly regretted it because Mike was standing outside. But it wasn't Mike. Not really. Something about him was wrong. He stood too still, too straight, and he was smiling, way too wide. He wasn't blinking. He just stood there, smiling, staring directly at the peephole, like he knew I was watching him. I backed away immediately, my whole body shaking. When I looked again, he was gone. I barely sleep anymore, and when I do, I see that night over and over. I hear the footsteps. I hear the closet break. I hear Mike screaming. But sometimes the dream changes. Sometimes I dream I'm still under the bed, still hiding, still trapped, and something is lying beside me. So close, I can hear it breathing. Slow, wet, heavy. Then it whispers right into my ear. Hide. I don't know what's real anymore and what isn't. That's why I'm making this post, because I don't know what else to do. I don't know if I'm losing my mind or if this thing is still here, watching, waiting. While writing all of this, my phone just vibrated again. New message, no number, like always. I didn't want to open it, but I did. It said, "Ready to seek?" I stared at the screen for maybe 10 seconds. Then another message came. Instantly. No delay. Just one line. "Check under your bed."